Since we've already went over how the 9/11 attacks on the Twin Towers and the Pentagon were made, we are about to see how Flight 93 crashed into Shanksville, Pennsylvania. But first, we need to know what was Flight 93's target on the fateful tragic day of September 11, 2001. Flight 93's target was either the White House or the US Capitol building. Let's briefly explain about the White House and the US Capitol building. We all know that this is the White House and is the iconic place of where the US president works and lives at while in office. It was built between 1792 and 1800. When the White House was completed, it stands up to 70 feet high. The White House represents the executive branch of the US government. It also symbolizes leadership, authority, and important role of the US president. The US Capitol building, on the other hand, is symbolically and functionally connected to the White House. The construction of the US Capitol began in 1793, when it was completed in 1800, the same year as the completion of the White House. It stands 288 feet. The US Capitol building is also very easily recognizable due to its round dome shape. The diameter of the dome of the US Capitol building is 96 feet. The US Capitol represents the legislative branch of US government. The purpose of this building is where the Congress meets and to review, debate, vote, approve and pass laws. This is where the bill becomes a law. Since the White House and the US Capitol building symbolize political power and democracy in the US, the leader and founder of the Al-Qaeda, Osama bin Laden, wanted to destroy either the White House or US Capitol building and had an evil plan to do so. Osama bin Laden did not like how the leadership was doing in their country and saw them as high-profile symbolic landmarks of America and was part of his plan to destroy them, alongside with the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center and the Pentagon. Osama bin Laden selected and sent 19 men from Saudi Arabia to America to hijack the airplanes. On the morning of September 11, 2001, at around 8:42, United Airlines Flight 93 took off from Newark International Airport in Newark, New Jersey. Its destination was San Francisco, California. Inside, Flight 93 carried 44 passengers, including 4 hijackers. The hijackers were Ziad Jarrah, Ahmed Al-Nami, Ahmed Al-Hasnoui, and Saeed Al-Ghamdi. During the flight, when passengers received phone calls from their family members and friends, shockingly devastating news about the 2 planes hitting the Twin Towers of their World Trade Center and the Pentagon, they became worried and scared that their flight could be next to be hijacked. They had to do something to fight back and to stop them. When Flight 93 was being hijacked, it made a sudden sharp U-turn toward the open area near Shanksville, Pennsylvania. During the hijack, the passengers on board were scared. They had to do things to stop the hijackers from targeting either the White House or the US Capitol. Some passengers spilled hot coffee onto the hijackers. Some of the passengers forced their way to the cockpit by using the food and drink. A young man named Todd Beamer famously said, "Let's roll." As the passengers battled their way to break down the door of the cockpit, Ziad Jarrah was behind the cockpit of Flight 93 and was flying toward their target in Washington, D.C. when the brave passenger broke down the door of the cockpit with the cart. The passengers were able to stop him and pull him away from the cockpit. That caused Flight 93 to lose control and crashed into the open countryside area near Shanksville, Pennsylvania. Sadly, even though Flight 93 was being saved by the brave passengers, no one survived in the accident. Then shortly thereafter, the memorial was built in honor of those brave passengers who heroically saved Flight 93 from targeting either the White House or US Capitol building. If it weren't for the brave passengers, then Flight 93 would struck and destroy their targeted buildings and we wouldn't have the White House or the Capitol building. These two buildings are extremely important to America, and we need them to create laws and democracies for our US government. Even though we lost the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center and nearly 3,000 people during the 9/11 terrorist attacks, America cannot be destroyed. America is a country. It is a land that cannot be destroyed, even by terrorism. There is no way to destroy America. No matter what happens, America is always there. Our pride, our patriotism, and our spirits cannot be taken away. This is how phrase, "United we stand," was created when it came to a rally after the 9/11 terrorist attacks. Thank you for watching. God bless the USA.
Cause there ain't